welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. I'm now joined by League General Manager Matt Jones.
Hello everybody and welcome to the official podcast of the Northern Counties East League. And absolutely amazing given the weather at the latter end of the week that we had any fixtures on at all over the weekend. It was torrential rain as I looked out my office window on Thursday and Friday, and I'm thinking to myself, looking at the forecast, there's no chance of any games being on. So amazing at all that we had any games played. Incredibly, one game survived in the FA Vars, 3 games in the Premier Division, and 7 games started in Division 1, although 2 were later abandoned, with the matches between Brigtown and Wetherbridge Athletic abandoned at half-time due to an unplayable pitch, while Dernan District versus Wakefield was called off during the second half due to a floodlight failure. To have 9 games completed in the midst of all the wind and rain during the storm was fantastic. On behalf of the league, we have to once again thank the incredible volunteers and ground staff that worked so hard to get their games on, often working through some terrible weather conditions. Even the people that tried and ultimately failed, the amount of effort that went in to try and get the weekend's games on, standing out in all that lot was fantastic. Starting with the FA Vars and the All Northern Counties East League tie between Wombwell Town and Hallam went the way of the visitors, with Hallam eventually winning comfortably 4-0 to move into the last 32 of the competition. The other ties involving Northern Counties East League sides saw them scheduled to travel across to the northwest. And unsurprisingly, given the storm and the effect of the storm up the west coast, the ties for Albion Sports and Stilton were both postponed. In the Premier Division, the biggest winners were Frickley Athletic, which will please our friends from the podcast Josh and Ella, who convincingly beat Rossington Main 4-0. Other winners were Knaresborough Town, who beat Parkgate 3-1 to ease their relegation fears, while Thackley moved up to third in the table with a 3-0 win over Bottisford Town. In Division 1, Horbury Town are now 14 points clear at the top after beating Selby Town 2-1, although the leaders left it really late, coming from behind with 2 goals in the last 9 minutes, including a last-minute winner from James Cusworth. There were also 2 big away wins in Division 1 at the weekend. South Leeds won 5-0 at Glasshoughton Welfare, while Swallownest picked up a much-needed win, winning 5-0 as well at Dronfield Town. Given the weather and the somewhat dubious pleasure and distractions of Christmas shopping and things at this time of year, crowds are understandably down, although the 9 completed games still saw nearly 900 hardy souls attend one of our games. And anybody that was out there will know it wasn't a pleasant weekend to be stood outside. So to everybody that attended one of our games and braved those conditions, we thank you as always for your incredible support.
Welcome to Seasons Past with Libby Edwards. In this episode, I'm looking back to the 2011-2012 season. The Premier Division contained 17 teams from the previous season plus promoted from Division 1 Barton Town and Staveley Miners Welfare, and Retford United, who were relegated from the Northern Premier League. The league was won by Retford United, who won 25 and drew 10 of their 38 games, finishing with 85 points. Bridlington Town finished second. They won 26 and drew 6, finishing on 84 points. In third place were Scarborough Athletic, who finished on 74 points. Selby Town finished bottom. Second bottom were Lincoln Moorland Railway, and third bottom Maltby Main. Newcomers to Division 1 were relegated Dinnington Town and Hallam. Worksop Perramore were promoted from the Central Midlands and Albion Sports from the West Yorkshire. The league was won by Handsworth. They finished on 82 points, with 27 wins and 1 draw. Runners-up were Glasshoughton Welfare. They won 24 and drew 7, finishing on 79 points. In third place were Worksop Perramore, who finished on 77 points. In the 20-team First Division, Appleby Frodingham finished bottom. Retford United had the biggest home win during the season. 10-1 against Nostell Miners. The biggest away win was Brighouse Town's 7-1 win at Parkgate. The League Cup was won by Thackley, who beat Shirebrook Town 3-1 in the final at Parkgate. Beaten semi-finalists were Barton Town and Winterton Rangers. The President's Cup was won by Handsworth, who defeated Barton Town 4-3 in the final at Winterton. In the FA Cup, Tadcaster Albion and Staveley Miners Welfare made it to the second qualifying round, where they were beaten 2-1 by Halifax Town and 3-0 at Hyde respectively. Tadcaster's best win of their cup run was a 3-0 win against Scarborough Athletic. Staveley's was the defeat of Goole after a replay. In the FA Vars, Bridlington Town, Arscombe Villa, Parkgate and Armthorpe Welfare all made it to the third qualifying round. But pride of place went to Staveley Miners Welfare, who made it to the semi-final. Staveley beat Asheville, Squires Gate, Willand Rovers, Oadby and St Ives. In the semi-final they faced Dunstan. Dunstan won their home leg 1-0, a 2-2 draw at Staveley saw Dunstan progress to the final.
Next up, NCEL talk. I'll hand straight over to host Aaron Walton.
So, we're low in numbers tonight. Welcome, everybody. So we've got myself, Aaron, we've got Bob, of course, and we're joined by Radio Royalty himself, Richard Watts. Good evening, Richard.
Evening.
Good evening.
So, hello, Bob, as well. So, well, we're going to have a look at what happened last week and what's happened this week. So, well, as Bob intimated last week, the storm decimated most of Saturday's games, didn't it?
Yeah, Storm Darragh.
Storm Darragh. And the games, I was hoping Si would have been on, but he's not. But myself and Si were at. They didn't finish either, both in strange circumstances. I think the game at Durnan District and Wakefield, I think the floodlights failed. Have you been to a game where the floodlights have failed, gentlemen?
I haven't. I can't remember one, actually. No, I can remember one. No.
No, I think I maybe had delay, but never one that. I remember a game at Ferriby that was held up about half an hour once.
Yeah,
but never an abandoned.
Well, we've had a couple at Barton, one in Craig Denton's tenantry, and the lights went out for a little bit, and then we had one way back against Harrogate Railway. It was a night game, and Will and Tom Wardby's father, Nigel, came to the rescue and mended the fuse box, I think. So I think Nigel got a pint out of it. So well done, Nigel Wardby. So, what would Barton do without the Wardbys?
Oh, they're struggling.
Both on and off the field.
On and off the pitch, yeah.
So well done, Nige. But I was at the Brigtown and Wasborough game, and the conditions were bad, but playable. It was very windy, and it was raining constantly. Now, Brig were 2-0 up at half-time, and Wasborough had a man in the sin bin, so he'd got another 5 minutes to go in the sin bin when they come out. At half-time, the ref deemed the pitch unplayable. But I don't know, you've seen them, Richard, and you've seen them, Bob. When refs come out, and they don't bounce the ball, they just drop it, don't they?
Yeah.
And you think, and I know the Brigtown manager, I forget his name.
Agnew.
Brett Agnew. Sorry, I knew Brett Agnew. He was absolutely remonstrating with the referee, saying, the ball does bounce, and they were showing him it was bouncing, but the ref was adamant. I don't think it would have been a very good game, but you just wonder, with Brig being up 2-0, would there be any way back for Wasborough, because Brig were playing well. Wasborough? Yes.
So I presume that's going to have to be replayed then, I presume.
Well, I've had a look at. We'll come on to that later in the programme about rules and regulations, but I would say it would be, yeah. But also, I'm a bit tight. As a paying fan, how do I stand? Because I've only seen 45 minutes football.
Yeah.
Do I get to come back and have to pay full price, or do I get in for half price? Because I've only seen 45 minutes. That's the thing. Yes, yeah. Money's a bit tight here at Walton Towers, so I'm just wondering. Anyway,
should they have started it in the first place? Was the conditions good enough to start the game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the pitch at Brigg, it's not the best, and they'll agree with me, but it was holding up well. But the goal mouths are getting a little bit of water in them. I think it was a wind more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you should say that because I saw on Briggs' YouTube afterwards interviewing the manager, and the wind was horrendous in the background. You could hardly hear him talk. You had to turn the sound up to hear what he was saying. So it did look pretty bad to me.
Well, it's softly spoken though, Bob. But yeah, it was really windy. So let's look at the games that did beat the dreadful, depressing weather at the weekend. Only one FA Vars third round tie involving both the NCEL clubs survived. Won Town playing higher opposition in that of Hallam, with Hallam coming through in tricky conditions. Because again, Bob, I saw an interview with Craig Denton, and you could hardly hear him because of the wind. So it must have been a theme there. So, but Hallam were going really well. They won 4-0. And then in the league, Frickley beat Rossington 4-0. So Frickley is starting to turn a corner a bit out. They've stopped a 3-game losing streak. I think Tom Class there now, the manager, is starting to turn things round, isn't he? And stabilise the Blues.
Yeah.
Knaresborough beat Parkgate 3-1. Good win for Knaresborough because they're starting to come through a bit. And Thackley kept their promotion push, didn't they? They said a 3-0 comfortable win over Bottisford. Nothing's ever comfortable against Bottisford. Is it, Richard?
Certainly isn't.
But that's what they said. So let's cast our eye over Division 1 then. Appleby Frodingham's fortunes continue with a sound draw at home to Athersley Recreation 2-2. So that they're starting to... Are they turning the corner or what?
Yeah, that's a good point from, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
I see Sam Ainsley's signed for them midweek, hasn't he? We've seen Sam a few times, Richard, at Winterton. Is a good player, Sam Ainsley. I think he plays at the back, so that's a good signing for them. He's obviously played higher. Swallownest, they put in a super performance, sitting 5 away at Stonelaw Road, capping a poor week for Dronfield, having lost to Yorkshire Amateurs in the week as well. So poor old Dronfield, they lost 2 on the bounce there to lower opposition. So I don't know if Dronfield will get pulled into that relegation battle. No, they've got too many points. They've got 21 points, haven't they? So
could get dragged into it.
Yeah, I know Appleby Frodingham are 10 behind, but you never know, do you? Glasshountain lost out at home to South Leeds 5-0, so South Leeds back on the horse, winning again. Horbury got the better of Selby, didn't they, in a very tight game.
Very tight, yeah.
Yeah, they did a Wakefield, didn't they? Scoring a winner in the last minute.
Yeah, we talked about this player last week. Well, you did, Aaron. James Cushwood.
Yes,
and Selby was 1-0 up. And then James Cushwood scored in the 81st and 90th minute to win the game. So that's good, isn't it?
It is. It really is good for Horbury. I think they're 59 points now, aren't they? I mean, are they going to? The only thing you're looking at is, are they going to get over 100 points? Because I don't think the wheels are going to come off. Do you?
No, they're looking good, aren't they?
They are looking really good. What else we got? Ilkley and Nostell sharing the spoils in a 6-goal thriller. You got your money's worth there, 3-3.
Yeah.
So that was good. If we look at midweek. So Silsden and Taddy draw 2-2. So
that's a good result.
For Taddy, it is. Yeah. I think they play some decent football, don't they, Tadcaster? I mean, you saw them against Barton, didn't you, Richard, at Tadcaster? You didn't think they were that bad, did you, Tadcaster? You thought they were all right?
Yeah, knocked the ball about nicely, and they've got a couple of big lads up front. They maybe in the game when I saw, they maybe knock it about a bit too slowly at times in the build-up, but they certainly keep hold of the ball.
Yeah,
potentially be a decent side.
That's good. That's good. So Tadcaster, that's a good draw at Silsden. And what a win for Ilkley in the West Riding County Cup, beating Ossett United 5-0 at Ossett.
Yeah.
Wow. Did Ossett
United have been going pretty well in the Northern Premier League East.
Yeah.
Does one think Ossett maybe put a few of the youngsters in, but Ilkley have still got to turn up and win it, haven't they?
Yeah. We had to play our player Alfie Proctor. He left school to go to Ossett, and since he's been in team, I think they've been doing well. So good on Alfie.
Yeah.
Good on Alfie.
Yeah, well done. So that was that, and then on Wednesday, the FA Vars third round. Well, it wasn't a replay because it was a replay, but had to be played again, didn't it? Liverpool, South Liverpool versus Albion. What a great win for Albion! Yes, winning 2-0. They've played well this season. I mean, have you seen them, Bob? You've seen them, Bob, haven't you, this season against Hull?
They played well when they came to our place. Mind you, most teams do. But I've seen them. Yeah.
Well, we've seen them twice, haven't we, Richard? We've seen them at home and away against Barton, and I think was it the first game of the season? It was a 0-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they're the best team I've seen this season so far.
Yeah. I think I will. I think I will go with you there, Richard, as well. I think especially the job they did over at their place, I thought they played exceptionally well. So yeah, they are good.
A win at I always think the Northwest Counties is maybe a slightly better standard. So to go to win away there is a terrific result.
Definitely. I think it is a slightly stronger league, but people will disagree with us. But I'm agreeing with you there, Richard. So well done, Albion. And Mr. Nathan Cartman double again. He can't stop scoring, can he?
No.
He's coming into his own. They've got a good couple of management team there, though, haven't they? At Albion with Neil Simpson and Mark Oglesby. I think they're both at Yorkshire Amateur when they were playing really well, those two. But they are good managers and just getting a stall set out now. So I think they'll be there or thereabouts in the league, and hopefully a really good cup run for them as well. So that was a pat on the back for Albion going to South Liverpool to win 2-0. Campion, they played Rossington in the league, 1-1 until the last 6 minutes, with Campion scoring too late on to make it 3-1. Could we say Campion have turned a corner, and because they had a little bit of a dodgy period, haven't they? So do we think they've got rid of their dodgy period and possibly move on?
Possibly.
Yeah, doesn't it? Yeah.
But they were 1-0 down at half time and come back to win 3-1, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They must have had a rollicking at half time.
Yeah. All the wind was blowing one way at the time. That's what.
Yeah.
But they all got the same goal.
Yeah, must be. So, news. Let's have a look at news, because we'll go on to look at the games at the weekend. Hopefully, not many cancelled and what have you. But I don't think the pitches have dried out particularly well this week. It's been poor, hasn't it? Bits and bobs of news. I don't know if you've seen, guys. Really disappointed for Wasborough getting removed from the League Cup. Playing an ineligible player, wasn't it? So goal could go through. I mean, I know rules are rules, but it leaves you a little bit of a bitter taste, doesn't it? Nothing against Golker, it's just the rules. But
credit to the chairman at Worsborough. He put something on X or Twitter to say it was his fault, and everybody, says that these things happen. Supporters quite seem to understand, but it's disappointing for the players after the effort they put in.
Yeah, it does.
Somebody who was cup tied, wasn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think it was somebody who played for Shelley. I think, and they got thumped in the earlier rounds. I don't know. I don't know about these rules. Sometimes I think they're a bit. I don't know. I don't want to be too controversial, but sometimes I don't agree with them. We've been on the end of them at Barton Town, haven't we, in the Lincolnshire Cup before, where we've played an illegible player and so on and so forth. It's so difficult for volunteers who are secretaries or chairmen and to keep up with everything, isn't it? It's almost like a full-time job, and it's so difficult.
Tell me about it. Yeah.
Well, it isn't it, Bob? That's it.
Yeah.
So I see Gould have been signing players again, Bob. Are you going
Yes,
to tell us?
I was going to come on to that. Yes, we've signed Gavin Allett today from Wombwell.
Yeah.
Now, he's played for us before, back 2011, 12, I think.
Yeah.
But he's always knocked goals in wherever he's gone.
Yeah.
And I think for Wombwell this year, he's got 15 goals in 15 games. So, hopefully he'll start knocking goals in for us. And we've also signed Curtis Senior. You previously played at Horbury, Ossett United, Brighouse, and Worsborough, left back and midfield. So,
so you've been busy.
We have, yeah. Well, the chairman and the manager is trying to do their best, trying to get us out of this situation that we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
And because we've got 16 matches to go, next three matches are at home, and everyone's from now in on now is a cup final from now on in.
Yeah, definitely.
You can certainly guarantee there if you make chances, you've got a man who's going to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's right. But our trouble is our defence. So we've got more holes. Our defence has got more holes than a polo mint, I think, right at the moment.
Oh my God.
Hopefully, if we can start scoring goals that give the team and the defence confidence, and we can keep a clean sheet, because we've not kept a clean sheet all season, which is not good. No,
it's not good. But the guys behind the scenes are trying to get players in, and they're getting players in. So you never know. You never know. It's a funny old game, isn't it? Somebody once said.
Yeah. I say so. We'll be coming to games what we're playing on Saturday shortly. So we need to win our next 3 home games, 3 Saturdays running.
Well, let's have a look. Seeing as you mentioned that, Bob, let's have a look. So we'll have a quick look at the weekend fixtures through the NCEL Prem and Div 1. But Friday sees Knaresborough versus Pickering.
Yeah, and that's an important game for Winterton and ourselves, really. When you look at the league position, if Knaresborough win, that stretches them even further ahead of Winterton and ourselves, So.
Yeah, just pulling them away a bit, isn't it? So
but we can't rely on others. It's what we do at the end of the day.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, that's the thing. And I see Div 1, they've already got a game postponed. Athersley versus Armthorpe.
Yeah. Call that off early, haven't they?
Yeah, pitch issues. So,
But it's good to do that. At least everybody knows where they stand, don't they?
Well, that's it. I mean, there's always this thing, isn't there, where I don't know if it's an unwritten rule or it's a rule that you can't call a game off before the Saturday morning. And you think sometimes, I mean, like, for instance, I know people who are volunteers who could have maybe got some paid work, bit of overtime, and you're waiting and waiting and waiting. Oh, it's off, and you think, God, I could have had a Saturday at work there or a Friday night at work. So I think that needs to be looked at a bit more, with volunteers and what have you, because if they're giving work up, paid work to possibly volunteer, and then it's not being on, it seems a bit of a, I don't know, a bit awful, really. But hey ho. So that's that one. That's Athersley and Armthorpe. Saturday sees our remaining teams in the FA Vars, our remaining team. Silsden. Now, they've got a good game against West Didsbury and Charlton, haven't they? So away. That'd be a good test for Silsden to see how they're really going.
Yeah.
They're going well in our league, but like Richard says, it's a good benchmark, isn't it? That the league towards Manchester. It's a good benchmark, isn't it? So in the Premiership, we've got quite a few derbies, haven't we, all the way through Premiership and Div 1. We've got a Lincolnshire derby, hopefully, between Barton and Bottisford. Bottisford won the reverse fixture, so the Swans should be looking for some revenge and a win. Always a feisty affair, aren't they, Richard? And Bottisford always raise the game, no matter where they are in the league. If they're below us or above us, they'll always raise the game, don't they?
Certainly do. It's be a tough one.
It will be. We do owe them one, but I know Mike Thompson will fire his lads up at Bottisford to give Barton a tough game. And Barton are on a little bit of a, I wouldn't say a slump, but we've not won for a couple of games, have we? And we've lost a cup game as well. So
that's 4 in a row, I think.
Is it 4? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4. 4.
they've not looked that bad. I mean, I didn't think they were particularly good in the first half against Hallam. It looked like strangers in defence, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, second half they played a little bit better against Hallam, but we had a few players out. But you can make excuses up. But I'm sure Barton will come good. I'm sure Anthony Bowsley will have them fired up. So that's Barton and Bottisford. Another derby, Eccleshill and Thackley. The Bradfordian derby. So that'll be a good game, won't it? I do like Eccleshill, and I think Thackley are playing well this season. They're up there, aren't they? That'll be a good one. Frickley, they play Tadcaster, 12th versus 15th. Now, Frickley's form's good, and we know Tadcaster, as Richard says, can knock the ball about, so that should be a good game. Golka, they're playing the ever-improving Campion, so that's second plays 8th. Again, that'll be a good benchmark for how Campion are doing against Golka.
Yeah.
My next game, Bob, you've got Rossington at home. Winnable.
We have. Yeah, we have. Well, hopefully. With these 2 new signings, I presume they'll play, but that's up to the manager. But so it should be looking for a good crowd. Hopefully, because Rossington will bring a few. I know Adam's coming. Adam Gittins. He messaged me in the early week to say he's coming with his dad. So no doubt it'll be on YouTube.
It will be. I bet you'll get your neb in it. Oh no, I never do.
No, I'm not forced to do. I'll be busy volunteering stuff.
I bet you'll be on it. I've been with him on a few videos, and they've never even seen me. I've stood next to him as well, so I've definitely got a face for radio, Bob.
Well, same here, really. Same here. So hopefully, and the weather forecast for this weekend, I think it's going to be one of the better days of the week. So hopefully, we'll get good crowds all around.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, I hope Barton Town's pitch has dried out. It's been a bit damp and drizzly, hasn't it, all week? So, fingers crossed. Anyway, I've heard no reports. So, Handsworth play Beverley Town. Can Beverley keep their impressive run going? What do you think, Richard? What do you think there?
Be a close game, but I can see Beverley getting. I can see it being a draw.
Really?
I think it'll be a close game, but Beverley playing so well at the moment.
They are, aren't they? Really well.
See them getting beat.
Yeah. So, well, you said that. You said that when they played Barton. You said you couldn't see Beverley losing too many more. So that's Beverley at Handsworth. Then Parkgate against Hallam, 9th against 7th. A good test for Craig Denton's boys, that I think, because any game at Parkgate's a tough one, isn't it? It's a ground I've never been to, so that's one of my grounds to get to. I should have been there, but I haven't.
Well, Rotherham United, their training ground is next door to Parkgate.
Is it?
We played Parkgate first game of the season away, and they said Rotherham United's training, because I think somebody was saying, because the Parkgate pitch that day looked immaculate, and I think the Rotherham people look after it for them,
Yeah.
So it's a nice setup at Parkgate. Nice people, nice setup.
Oh, good. I shall look forward to going when we play. Winterton, they've got a tough home tie against high-flying Penistone, haven't they? So you'll be hoping Penistone win, Bob. But
when you're in our situation, you do, don't you? Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what sort of shape Winterton are in at the moment, because I've not been to see them too often. But they're down there fighting for their lives with you guys. So we'll just have to wait and see that one. Now we're going to Division 1. Well, we've got another Lincolnshire derby. Brigtown play Appleby Frodingham. So that'll be a good game. Brig are on good form. Appleby Frodingham have just started to turn a little bit of a corner, haven't they, and started to put some results together. So be a good test for Appleby Frodingham. I think Brig are a bit too strong. When I saw them, Richard, on Saturday, they had a young gentleman playing called Ashton Coley. Now, we know his brother, don't we?
Oh, right. Yes, we do. Yeah.
Harrison's brother. He looks just like Harrison, and he's a little bit quicker, and he looks a very good prospect. Only a young lad. Looks a very good prospect, does Ashton Coley. A name to look out for. So They're amassing a nice little team there at Brig.
Yeah, they're looking strong, aren't they?
Very strong, yeah. What they call it, Mr. Batty, he's on fire, Josh Batty. And helped by Danny North up there. We know Danny really well. We know Josh well. So good luck to both teams. Nostell play Louth. That's a must-win for both teams, isn't it, really? So both struggling a little bit. Selby versus Ilkley. Now, that should be a good game.
Yeah, it should, right?
Yeah, it'll be a tight one, that one. Both difficult to beat, aren't they?
I'll go for a draw there. 2-2 draw.
Yeah, 2-2. You're going for a Desmond. You're going for a Desmond.
Yeah, look, I think that looks a good on paper. It looks a good fixture.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Shelley, they play high flying, top of the table Horbury. Now, can Shelley burst Horbury's bubble? What do we think?
I'd be shocked if they can.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's Horbury's, isn't it? But as I say, you can never bet on them, can you? As my father used to say, never bet on anything that can talk. So there you go. Then we've got South Leeds playing Harrogate Railway. That should be a decent game. Both can play some nice football. Swallownest and Glasshoughton. That's going to be. I think both sort of down near the bottom, aren't they? But not really in, I would say, masses of trouble. But that'd be a good game. Wakefield versus Dronfield. Now, Dronfield have struggled, haven't they, lately? But is it a potential banana skin if Wakefield go into it with the wrong attitude?
They are going well, Wakefield, aren't they?
They are.
Really well.
But they really need to be. Don't take Dronfield lightly. I know Dronfield have had a few poor results, but they can still pull it together. So we've got game of the day has got to be Wombwell versus Durnan District, hasn't it? Third versus second must be match of the day, that one, don't you think, gents?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I think that'll be a good game. That anybody's game, that as well. Yorkshire Amateur, they play Maltby Main. Can the Amateur keep up the good form, or can the boys from Muglet Lane calm the team from Brackenedge? One never knows. So Yorkshire Amateur are on a little bit of a good run at the moment, aren't they? So you just have to wait and see. So let's have a look at.
There's one Miss Worsborough Club Thorn. Worsborough Home to Club Thorn.
I don't know. I've missed that one. How have I missed that?
We don't want any letters, do we? Say that we was.
I always, as Captain Mannering once said, "Well done, Wilson." And I wondered when you was going to spot that one. Exactly, I always put them in, Bob. Well done, Bob. Oh dear me! I must go around with my eyes closed. In fact, I do. Right. So let's have a look at the league places then. So if we look at the Prem. We've got Silsden at the top of the pile, haven't we? 21 games, 49 points. 3 points behind and a game in hand, a Golka, looking good. Thackley having a super season, 22 games, 41 points. Our team who are doing really well, who we all like, Beverley Town, 21 games, 39 points. Penistone, 22 games and 35 points. And Albion looking very, very, very good. 18 games, 34 points. So, a good few games behind, like Penistone and Thackley, so things could change. We'll whiz round the bottom really quick, Bob. Goal 22 and 9, but we've got Winterton Rangers 19 games, 15 points. Now, Winterton have got a few games over for everybody, haven't they? They've only got one game over Knaresborough, a few games over Goole. But as Si always says, it doesn't matter if you've got all these games in hand, you've got to win them, haven't you?
You have.
Yeah.
So, Knaresborough 20 and 20, so 20 games played at 20 points. And Bottisford, 19 games and 21 points. So it's looking tight down there, isn't it? We need Goole to win a couple of games, not to get cut adrift. So we need them to win, don't we? So let's have a look at Division 1. We'll go from the top. Well, Horbury are the team, aren't they? The team, 23 games, 59 points. For me, I think we're going to break the 100-point barrier, I think.
Yeah, you can't see them getting overturned, can you?
Not really. Maybe the odd game. Maybe they run out of legs or something like that. But I can't see them losing. Durham District, 22 games, 45 points. So there's a good gap there. Wombwell, 20 games, 42 points. So Wombwell have got a few games in hand. South Leeds, 23 games, 40 points. And Brig, the team we're looking at and we're sort of banging the drum for, Brig Town, 21 games, 39 points. So for me, you're looking at Wombwell really on 20 games, 42 points. They've got 3 games in hand over South Leeds, 2 games in hand over Durham District, and 1 game in hand over Brig. So they're looking quite good out of Wombwell.
So if Wombwell beat Durham District this weekend, that'll even put in a better position, won't it?
Really? Yeah, it will. It'll go to second, won't they?
Yeah.
Then at the bottom, we've got new team at the bottom, but they're starting to pick a few points up. Probably Frodingham, 21 games, 11 points. Yorkshire Amateur, they've come off the bottom. They're on 21 games and 13 points. Louth, 21 games, 20 points. Nostell, 21 and 20 points. And Dronfield, 23 games and 21 points. So the bottom 4 have all played the same amount of games. So it's going to be tight, and I think maybe 1 or 2 other clubs could get pulled into that, don't you think, gents?
Yeah, well, yeah. So Yorkshire Amateurs, they picked up in recent, so it'll be interesting to see what they do on Saturday.
It will be, yeah. Well, they're playing Maltby, aren't they? So let's go on to. I wanted to talk about, if we could, these abandoned games, and we've had abandoned games before in the past, but the rules and regulations around it. So I don't know a particular lot, but I know where are we? I know an abandoned match will be replayed unless the competition rules provide something otherwise. So, what sort of minutes do we think?
Yeah, I think that this Wakefield one was after 69 minutes.
Yeah.
So it was 21 minutes plus injury. I would probably think, I might be wrong, that they'd probably say the league will say it's got to be replayed because there is still a lot of time to go.
There is, isn't there?
That'll probably upset the Wakefield supporters, but I think that's what the ruling will probably come out with, If it was 5 minutes to go, the result would probably stand it being 2-0 up.
Yeah.
I think it's already been announced that it is to be replayed, I think.
Oh, right.
All right, Richard.
Yeah.
All right.
And I know obviously Brig and Wasborough have to be replayed because they stopped at 45 half time. So, but it's a funny one, isn't it? How it goes about, and how do you, if you've only seen half a game, as I say, what do you spectators, if you've paid on the gate, do you pay again? I mean, clubs at our level can't really see who's coming and who ain't coming. I know most of the people on the gate know everybody by sight, don't they?
Yeah. But it's a cost to Durham District as well. They want to go play another home game, got to pay the players and get the food in, and
it's an expensive one, isn't it?
It's rearranged for the 14th of January.
14th of January.
Yeah.
Is that a Tuesday night or Wednesday?
It's a Tuesday. Yeah, it's a Tuesday.
Tuesday. So we're going to get. We'll have to see if we can get to that one because it'll be a good game. Now,
a good game.
What I want to finish on, if I can. Now, you brought this up, Richard. How about this? We've covered a lot of things over the past, but a couple of players who's caught your eye this season already. Who's caught your eye, Richard? A couple of players. You can have your own team, or you can an opponent.
Yeah, there's a couple of ones that I was looking at. I was going to pick a Beverley defender, and I've gone with James Piercy. Vast experience. There's not much gets past him.
There isn't. He's a super player. I mean, remember when he played at Barton? He was one of my favourite players when he played for Barton. But he's experienced now, isn't he? I mean, he's had a good few clubs: Ferriby, All Road Rangers, Barton Town, Beverley now. So he always gives you lots and lots of experience, doesn't he, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, I do like the right back Markham because he's one of these right backs who doesn't just go forward; he can actually defend as well.
Yeah. So is that your couple then, Richard?
Well, I was only going to pick my second one was going to be from Albion Sports, and I was close between Cartman and but the one I've picked out is Somali Cisse.
Oh yes, yeah.
Can score goals and create plenty.
Yeah, really good player. Really good. Two good picks there. Bob, have you got a couple of players who stood out for you?
Yeah, one is Rossington. Rossington, is it Manes Karanga?
Karanga, yeah.
When we played him at Rossington, he was outstanding. He's got 2 goals against us in a 5-0 loss, but he was outstanding. Every time he was going forward, he was dangerous with the ball and looks a very good player. I think he's moved on. I think he's moved on now. I don't think he's moved up to a higher level, but I don't think he's no longer at Rossington. I might be wrong. But...
All right. Who else then, Bob?
And the other one for Tadcaster, Luca Bellino. Is it Bellino? Oh. He scored a hat-trick against us in a 6-0 loss.
Oh, right.
But again, he was outstanding on the night. He was fast, really fast. Only a small player, a bit about 5'6", but he was quick. Really good ball control. And yeah, so that would be my 2 players I've seen this year that's really sort of stuck out to me,
Yeah. There's so many good players in both leagues. I think it's difficult to pick. But Richard, when Barton Town played Knaresborough, can you remember the keeper?
Yeah.
Was it Tommy Brown?
That's it. Yeah.
I know he got man of the match, but why? Did he have a good game?
He did. Yeah.
Played
very
really
good.
Well. Played really well. Did Tommy Brown? Real good keeper. There's. I'm going to go for. I wouldn't like to say who I'm going to go for. I don't really give it much. I do think for Albion Sport again, it seems to be a Bradfordian thing, but I think Nathan Cartman's playing really well, isn't he?
Yeah.
So the goals he scored against Barton were superb. His third was superb. That turn in the box and shot.
Yeah.
Really good. But another guy who's playing ever so well, and he's not missing chances, is Josh Batty at Brig. I don't know how many Josh has scored now, but he scored again on Saturday, and he doesn't seem to be missing the targets. So I think Josh is a good one to watch as well. So we've covered our.
I've just quickly looked. He's got 26, 18 in the league and 8 in the cup. Josh Batty.
Wow, that's
and that James Cushworth at Albury, he seems to knock a lot in, doesn't
he? He does. I ain't seen him yet, but doubtless I'll get to see Mr. Cusworth play. So as I said, there are some really good players out there, isn't there? So, but we're just going to have to see how Saturday pans out. Have you played that friendly yet, Bob? Against Walton?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Should I not have mentioned it?
Yeah, I wish you hadn't really.
Sorry, my friend. Did you win?
No.
Oh no. What was the score?
Lost 3-1.
Oh,
3-1. I was trying to keep quiet on that one.
Sorry. Oh dear. So was your gaffer just trying some new players out, or?
Yeah, I think he was trying different formations and one thing or another. He used to exercise, but Swallow Nest, I have to say, it looked good. It looked good. But it was a pity not many people turned out to watch it, which is a shame. But it was good. Good for them to have a friendly instead of training. I would imagine. You learn more.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. I mean, you can train as much as you like, but there's nothing like the cut and thrust of a proper game, I think.
No, that's
to be honest. So
and he made a few substitutes on the night as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Do we know who's got as the draw for is it the 4th round of the FA Vars?
I'm glad you said that. So I've got 2 of the signs. Albion Sports have been drawn at home to Crook Town or Carlisle City.
Yeah.
That's still going to be played. And Hallam have been drawn away to Atherton or Ashton Town.
All right.
it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.